Welcome to Wisconsin. Please don't ever leave. You can get some temporary rest just south of Palm Beach. If your go-kart's running low on gas, that will never do. Then golf's the scene. Everybody parties like it's 1999. Driving Mustang.
Well, hey guys, Long Haul Larry, Big Blue. It is Wednesday, March 25th, 2020. And we got empty this morning down in Madison. That was early this morning. And ran on up here to Stevens Point. Been sitting up here all day long. My appointment was actually at 9 p.m. I checked in about noon. I was hoping to get loaded early, but lady said it wasn't going to happen, so I ended up sitting out here, and they actually called me and put me in the door a couple hours ago, and I am loaded up. I have myself 41,400 pounds of Mountain Gold Valley CC 30 pounds export. I don't know what that means. But there you go. It's frozen load. And I also got a gift. I got a candy bar when I checked out. It's from the Lineage place here. This is a Lineage, Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And this is from everyone at Lineage, Stevens Point. Thank you for all you do. Your commitment to serving our country in a dire time of need does not go unnoticed. You are appreciated here. Thank you. And it was a Hershey bar. They gave me a Hershey bar. You know, I forgot to video something that I should have. You know, how guys, you know how I do that. I know there's a thing that's going on right now, kind of in social media, on Facebook and stuff, talking about truckers, and you know, you should go out and help truckers right now because you know, truckers can't, the restaurants are closed and stuff, and it's hard to get to places to go grocery shopping and stuff like that. And they're saying, so if you see a trucker or whatever, say offer them a lift to go get groceries or buy. Who's that? There's another ADL right there. It must be Jose. Gotta be who that is. I know John and Eric, they're down in Arkansas, I think it is. I talked to John, and they were walking into a Walmart together, I guess, and they were going to be kind of doing a little convoy, and they're going to be sleeping in the same place and stuff. And I said, oh boy, it's snuggle time. And he said, yep, snuggle time with Eric. So that must be Jose. What was I talking about? Oh, the social media thing about, you know, helping out truckers right now and everything. I had a guy come up to me in Arkansas when I was heading back to the East Coast, and I stopped in at the Petro, and I think I was getting a bite to eat or getting a snack or something. And I stopped in at the Petro, and I was standing in line, and this guy came up to the line of people waiting, and he said, hey, any of you guys drive big rigs? And I kind of turned around and looked at him, and I'm like, yeah, I do. What's up? He goes, I got a question for you. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, I got these pizzas, and I want to give them out to truckers and stuff. I was wondering how I could do that. And I was like, I don't know. And I said, I don't know, just go and talk to him, I guess. And I said, and then he was like, oh, okay. And I said, well, question, I said, isn't it gonna be a little hard for like truck drivers to like cook a frozen pizza or something like that? I thought maybe he was like a truck driver, and I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking that he had these extra pizzas and he was trying to give them away like truck drivers. We always have overages and stuff, and we got to try to get rid of this stuff. I thought that's what he was doing. And he was like, oh, no. He goes, they're all cooked. He goes, they're little Caesar pizzas. I was like, oh, okay. Well, yeah. I said, just go out to the fuel island out there. There's a bunch of truckers out there sitting there. And I said, just walk down the fuel island and ask guys if they want a pizza, I guess. He's like, you don't think it'd be weird? And I kind of laughed a little bit. I said, no. I said, I don't think it'd be weird as long as you don't ask them if they want to have a good time or something. And there was a couple other truckers sitting there and they all started laughing. And the guy chuckled and stuff. And he's like, okay, I appreciate it. And he walked out. And I was actually parked out there. And I walked back out to leave. And I was buying some power steering fluid. That's what I was doing. And I walked back out there and stuff, and I popped up my hood, and I was dumping in there, and he just walked past my truck as he was there. And the guy had like a dozen pizzas. And they were all like sealed with stickers and stuff right from Little Caesars. And he was walking down the line giving away to people and stuff. And a lot of people were kind of like, no, I'm good, And probably, it's kind of weird. You have this total stranger come up and offer you some food, it's like, you don't know what's in there. And he walked on past me and stuff, and I did my thing, and I pulled out, and I wanted to finish a half an hour break, so I just kind of rolled over into a little parking spot, and I was on this edge, and the guy, I seen him, and all of a sudden he cut through a couple trucks, and I saw him, and he saw me, and I had my light on inside my cab, and he saw me, he started walking towards me, and he had one pizza, and he came walking towards me, and I rolled down the window, and as he got closer, I said, sure, I'll take your pizza. And he looked at me, he's like, oh, it's you. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I see you gave him all away. He goes, yeah. And I said, okay. I said, cool. I said, appreciate it. And I took it from him. And he looked at me, he goes, I just want to thank you for what you're doing out here running and stuff, making sure people get their stuff. And he goes, so I thought I would just buy some pizzas. And he says, so I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys being out here and doing your job and getting this done. And God bless you. And I said, God bless you. And I says, thank you for the pizza. I said, I appreciate it. And the guy left. And right after he left, I went, no! Why didn't I turn the camera on? The guy was like this really cool, good Samaritan guy. I should have said, hey, dude, I have a YouTube channel. Let's, I'm gonna video you. I didn't even ask the guy's name or nothing. It was just kind of a quick exchange. And right after he left, I was just, that was like a video moment right there, because that's a big thing on social media right now. You guys know I'm terrible at that stuff. I always forget to turn this camera on when this thing's... It was pretty cool, though. It was nice of the guy. Well, we are off like a herd of turtles. We got ourselves 1,148 miles to go, and we got to make some miles. This appointment time here, this kind of sucked. Sitting here all night long. I'm super late. I mean, I gotta run solid all night long, get past St. Louis at least. Then I gotta shut it down. But I gotta make this thing moving, because I just barely have enough hours legally to make it there. So no messing around for long haul there today, or tonight or tomorrow. Gotta keep it rolling. Well, there we go, guys. St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. Coming through here nice and early. 5 a.m. All the scales have been closed. down here. Not too bad. It was like almost 11 when I left out of there. And it is 5 o'clock. So 6 hours down here. It's pretty good timing. Pretty good timing. I am getting a little bit tired, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. I haven't made up my mind whether or not I'm going to just keep going. I believe this is a JB Hunt coming up here. Right lane must exit, I guess. It said. We're going to a single lane. I'm not really sure. I haven't made up my mind whether or not I'm going to keep going or not, or if I'm going to, because I'm going to stop and do a half an hour break. I haven't made up my mind when I stop for my half an hour break if I'm going to do my half an hour break and then keep going, or just shut it on down. Because I'm at 653 miles to my destination. Not really sure. Not entirely sure. So I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I know some of you guys have, because I responded to some comments and stuff when I was up there getting loaded. I saw a few people are commenting about it. John over at JVG Travels. He called me up the other day. And I was out getting loaded in Mount Crawford. He called me up on the phone. He was trying to test out a microphone setup. Wanted to record me the phone call. And we had a conversation pretty much about nothing. I didn't know he was going to do it. He just called me up. And we sat there talking about this goofy stuff. Just all kinds of different stuff. And one of the things is John, you know, me and John we're both very interested in airplanes. It is something that we are interested in. You know, we've been flying remote control for a long time. And that's how we met, was flying remote control airplanes. And I used to own a Hobbytown USA. And he was kind of one of my best customers. And he belonged to a different flying club, and the flying club that he belonged, the guy owned a hobby store. Basically threatened everybody if they shopped at my store, because I moved in, you know, close by, you know, I was 5 miles away, whatever it was. And he like threatened everybody that if they came to my store, they'd be kicked out of the club. And one day John walked in. Me and him started talking and talking about airplanes and everything else, and I started showing him stuff that we had and everything. And I guess he decided that we had a very good selection. Okay, I guess this truck wants to come over. Not sure why that is, but okay. John back then, he lived with his dad, and his dad had some money that he would get every year. He had got quite a big check, and his dad had this business that what he would do is, I don't know if I'm explaining it all correctly, but what he would do is he would go out and buy a bunch of stuff. And then he would get himself a storage container. And the shipping to the Philippines, there's a lot of taxes and everything. If you, say, buy a moped and then ship it there, you got to pay tons and tons of taxes. But you can ship parts there and don't have to pay the taxes. And so what his dad would do is go out and buy generators and mopeds and just all kinds of everything, just all kinds of stuff. And they would buy the stuff, bring it back in the garage, tear the stuff apart, label it all, like in part 1, part 2, and then pack it into a storage container they would have dropped off in their yard. And once the storage container got full of all these pieces and parts, they would ship it off to the Philippines. And then his dad, I don't think he did it in the later years when I knew him, but his dad used to fly over there, and then they would, get the container, and he kind of had a little system worked out with people there and stuff, and had the whole business all worked out, and they would pull all the stuff out, reassemble it, and then they could resell it. And they could get it into the country a lot cheaper. It was the way they got around the system. And his dad used to make money doing this. And he did quite well. And John was kind of like his assistant, I guess, or something. And he gave John a lot of money for doing all this stuff too. And so John would come into my store, and I mean, it's pretty crazy with the stuff. He was buying the most expensive stuff. He wanted the best. And he would buy the stuff, and then we'd go out to the flying field and goof around, and he just didn't care about it, I guess. And we just fly and just do whatever, and he would crash or wreck something or whatever. And if something happened, it was like, oh well, I'll be in tomorrow, I'll pick up a new one or something, And so he was one of my bigger customers. And so we kind of hung out a lot and everything else, and we became close friends. But we used to do a lot of flying and stuff. And John actually did have an ultralight at one time. It was a weird kind of ultralight thing, but it was his father's, and his dad died, and it was basically brand new. It never been flown. And he was cleaning up stuff and taking care of stuff, and he ended up calling me and saying, hey, I got this ultralight, do you think I could store it out by your parents? And I said, sure. So he made room in the barn, and he brought it out there and stuck it in there. And I said, what are you going to do with it? And he goes, well, I think I'm going to fly. He goes, I just don't have the time right now, everything going on and everything. And he goes, but I would like to fly it. I would like to start flying it because I've always had a dream of flying it. Well, John got overwhelmed by things and got very busy with working and everything else. And the thing sat out there for years. Finally, I called him up and I'm like, listen, the pigeons are having a bird day, a great day on this thing here. We need to do something with this. You're just letting it sit here. And he's like, yeah, I know. He goes, I don't have the time and stuff or the money to do it. He goes, so I think I'm just going to have to sell it. And so he found somebody to buy it. He came out there, picked it up, and sold it. Ever since that day, he's actually been wanting to fly. He's always wanted to fly. And so he's always looking at different things and stuff. Well, in our conversation, we started talking, and he's been sending me videos about ultralights and stuff for a long time. And I just joked around and said, oh, you should go fly. You should go fly a real plane or whatever. And I guess I struck a nerve or something. He's got it all planned out, what he wants and everything else. And so I've had a couple people ask me, John is talking about selling his Goldwing to do something else. What is he doing? We want to know. Well, it wasn't my place to say. But that's kind of, I think, what he's been planning. I know he's talked about it. Because he really doesn't drive the Goldwing very much. Basically, he drives it maybe 3 to 4 times a year. And usually 2 of those times is taking it to the dealer to get service work done on it. So he just doesn't use it much. And so I told him, I said, well, you need to sell your Goldwing and you can buy yourself an ultralight. You know? And so then he came up with a bright idea. We should get 2 of them. We could go out and fly together. I got no problem with that. I'll jump in an ultralight. I know how to fly. I can fly it. And so I have no problem with that stuff. But here's the issue. I told him, I said, listen, I got plans. I got things that are happening. And I don't have this money to go out and buy an ultralight. So I'm not doing that. I said, I'm willing to do it and stuff. I said, I'll fly. I said, I don't care. I said, it'd be fun, but I'm not going to do it. I can't spend the money. And so he's going to sell his Goldwing, he says. And he's hoping for some support from his subscribers. And I told him he needs to start a GoFundMe page, but I know John, he's going to be like, I don't know how to do that. But he needs to figure it out if he wants to do it. And he's going to order up a kit and everything. And I told him if he can come up with the stuff, I'll help him assemble it. And then what I'll do is, you know, he can get the materials and stuff, and then I'll copy that one and build one from scratch too. And then me and him can go up there and fly around like remote control days and chase each other around in the sky. So I don't know if you guys heard that video or not, but yeah, that's kind of what he's been talking a lot about lately. I have no problem with that. I'll jump in an ultralight. I asked him, I said, do you think we need to go and get trained before we do this? He's like, nah. I don't know. I may go someplace and have somebody, you know, go up with some instructor for a time or 2 to make sure I know what I'm doing, but I don't know. We'll see. I understand how airplanes work and everything else. I don't think I'd have a problem with it. So there you go. So I know some people probably saw it in the comments, wonder what it was about. That's what it was about. John wants to get a couple ultralights and he wants us to go up and fly around, and I told him, I said, I'm going to mount a paintball machine gun on mine, and I'm going to chase them around in the sky and shoot paintballs at them like a fighter plane. And then I told him I'm going to fill Johnny up with paint or buck lure. And as I fly over the top of them, I'll bomb them. I'll do a chicken bomb on them. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Well, we're just rolling on along. We'll see how far we get here. Well, guys, we are going to be done. I decided just to shut her on down. Put it down. I am coming into Sullivan, Missouri. My clock is about to expire. And I figured, you know what? Why just sit here staring out the window for half an hour? That puts me like 590 miles. So I'm just gonna shut it down here. Give me a good day of sleep, and then I'm going to take off and run the rest of it this afternoon, evening. Showing that if I kept drive at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So if I do a 10-hour break, that's going to put me in there at 2 a.m. And you figure a half an hour break on there, pre-trip stuff. So you figure it's going to be about 3 a.m. that I should be there. So I think my appointment's at 9 a.m. So there you go. Well, I'm going to let you guys all go. I'm going to find me a parking spot. Shut it on down. Shut it down. So I'll talk to you guys later. I hope everyone out there is having themselves a good day, good night, watching this here video. If you are not, well, certainly just change it all around and try it all over again tomorrow. I will catch you guys later. See ya.